Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bookercast, the podcast where books come to life.
And I'm so excited to dive into another amazing story with all of you.
Whether you're a bookworm or just love a good story, this is the place for you.
Every episode, we explore incredible books, talk about their stories and characters, and share insights that'll make you fall in love with reading all over again.
All right, let's not keep you waiting any longer. Get comfortable, and let's jump right into it.
Sounds good.
Welcome to another deep dive, and this time we're taking a closer look at Ashley Elston's First Lie Wins.
Oh, this is going to be good.
It's a real page-turner. We're going to unpack all the twists and turns and explore how Elston creates this world where, well, deception has consequences. And we're going right to the source for this one, folks. We've got excerpts from the book itself.
I love when we get to dive right into the text. It's going to make this deep dive even more insightful.
I'm already hooked. The way Elston keeps you guessing, every character seems to have a secret.
Yeah, that's what I love about Elston's writing. Her novel really fits into this current trend of contemporary thrillers that go beyond the whodunit.
Like, it's not just about who committed the crime, right?
Exactly. It's about the why, the how, the psychology of lying, the masks we wear, and how those choices affect everything and everyone around us. It's all about those ripple effects.
And she takes this high-stakes world and grounds it in a setting we can all relate to. Like, who hasn't lived on a street where the neighbors are, well, a little too interested in what you're doing?
Oh, yeah. I've definitely had those neighbors.
Right. Elston captures that perfectly. Like when Evelyn, our main character, is checking out her neighbors, the Rogerses.
Oh, the Rogerses. Talk about suburban vigilance.
Seriously. They're the perfect picture of it. It makes you feel like anyone could be watching, which adds to the tension.
That sense of being watched really mirrors Evelyn's situation, doesn't it?
For sure. I mean, she's created this whole fake identity, Evelyn Porter, just to fit into her boyfriend Ryan's world.
Oh, and remember that scene with the Goodwill truck when she moved in?
Talk about commitment.
Right. I mean, it makes you wonder, is anything we see about her real?
And of course, it turns out Evelyn is just another mask she's wearing. She's this seasoned con artist named Luca, with a whole past shrouded in secrets.
A chameleon, that's what she is. Always one step ahead.
We get these glimpses into her training, like her mom, a seamstress, teaching her that appearances are everything.
Deception 101, starting from childhood.
Exactly. And that training definitely comes in handy. But then, someone claiming to be the real Luca Marino shows up.
Whoa, that's a game changer.
Elston really knows how to drop a bombshell. It makes you question everything. Is it just a coincidence, or is someone from Luca's past coming back to haunt her?
Right. And it really throws Luca off balance.
Totally. She's got to deal with this imposter while also navigating an increasingly dangerous present. And then, as if things weren't complicated enough, she starts uncovering some unsettling truths about Ryan's business.
Yeah, that whole East Texas operation.
It's way more than just a legitimate business.
Oh, yeah, he's involved in some seriously shady stuff.
That scene where she's hiding in the bathroom while Ryan is interrogating someone,
Chilling.
it's like we get a glimpse of this ruthless side of him. Like there's this whole dark reality beneath the surface.
It really makes you question everything you thought you knew about him.
Definitely. Which brings us to trust, or the lack thereof.
It's woven through the entire book, that's for sure.
Especially in Luke and Ryan's relationship. They're both keeping secrets, playing games. It makes you wonder, can there even be real love when it's built on lies?
And that's the million-dollar question.
And then remember when Luca plants that fake evidence for the imposter to find? It's such a risky move, but it shows how far she'll go to protect herself.
Yeah.
Makes you think maybe she's not capable of trusting anyone, even Ryan.
It's almost like she expects betrayal.
Maybe. And then Elston throws another curveball at us.
Mm-hmm.
The imposter and her companion die in a car accident.
But was it really an accident?
Right. It's like, was Mr. Smith, Luca's mysterious boss, involved? That question just hangs over everything.
Yeah, that possibility definitely adds another layer of suspense.
And that's where things get really intense for Luca. She's stuck between obeying Mr. Smith and risking her life to find out the truth.
It's a tough spot to be in.
It's a real moral dilemma. Should she stay silent and keep herself safe, or fight back and risk it all?
And to her credit, Luca chooses to fight. She goes off the grid, determined to expose Mr. Smith and bring his whole operation down.
It feels like a huge turning point for her. Like she's shedding all the layers of deception and embracing her true identity. She's Luca Marino, and she's ready to take on the world.
I love that for her, taking back control.
Right. But then she goes back to her hometown, which already feels dangerous.
Hmm.
And there's this woman at a bar who gives her this cryptic warning about digging too deep.
Ooh, that's spooky. Like Mr. Smith's reach is wider than anyone realized.
Exactly. Which brings us to the theme of consequences. Every lie, every manipulation has a ripple effect.
And they all come crashing down on Luca when she gets framed for murder.
It's like her carefully constructed world is imploding. And suddenly, her fake identity as Evelyn Porter is her only shield.
It's like she's playing the ultimate game of survival now.
Right. This cat-mouse chase with Mr. Smith.
Uh,
And she's using all her skills to stay ahead. But then she gets this unexpected help from another operative named Amy.
oh, Amy. What a character.
They team up to expose Mr. Smith. And get this, his true identity is George. That seemingly harmless courier.
What? I did not see that coming. It makes you realize that in this world, no one is who they seem.
And then in a final act of defiance, Luca reveals everything to Ryan. Her true identity, everything.
And his reaction is,
He knew all along. Can you believe it? It's like every relationship in this book is built on shaky ground.
it really makes you think, can any of these relationships really survive all of this?
That's the question, isn't it?
It's amazing how Elston uses those flashbacks, to like layer the story.
Right.
We get these glimpses into Luca's past, when she was working for Mr. Smith.
Like a masterclass in deception. Like that scene where she infiltrates this glamorous party
Oh, yeah.
and steals a fortune in jewels right under everyone's noses. You can't help but be impressed, even if it's for all the wrong reasons.
Totally. And you see how resourceful she had to be. To survive, she had to learn to wear all those different masks.
It's true. And those flashbacks really shed light on her relationship with Mr. Smith. He's like this puppet master, right?
Yeah, pulling all the strings.
Offering her these opportunities, but keeping her trapped in his web of lies.
It's disturbing, that power dynamic.
Totally. And it makes you wonder, is there any real care there? Or is it all just manipulation?
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really speaks to the theme of survival. Think about that heart-stopping scene where she's posing as a nanny named Izzy.
Oh man, the Kingstons.
Exactly.
That was intense.
She's supposed to steal something from this seemingly perfect family.
But then the wife, Jenny, catches her red-handed,
Trying to crack the safe.
and Luca's true colors come out.
She chooses her own survival over helping someone in need. It's a tough choice.
It really shows the moral compromises she's made.
Yeah.
Makes you think about the toll it takes living a life like that.
The constant pressure and the fear of being found out, always having to be someone else.
Elston doesn't shy away from exploring those darker aspects. And then she gets framed for Amy Holder's murder. Talk about consequences.
It's a turning point, for sure. Her carefully constructed life is falling apart.
And what's interesting is how this situation, in a weird way, brings her and Ryan closer.
Yeah, that's right.
They're both caught in this web of deception. And that shared vulnerability creates this strange kind of intimacy.
It does. Remember that scene where Luca confesses everything to Ryan? She's afraid she's going to be arrested.
And he says he already knew.
Whoa! Talk about a plot twist.
Right. And suddenly the power dynamic shifts.
Definitely.
They're on a more equal footing now. But the question is, can they break free from Mr. Smith's control? Elston's a master of suspense, that's for sure.
She keeps you guessing the whole time.
I was constantly on the edge of my seat.
Me too. And even when the truth is revealed, there's this lingering sense of unease.
That's what makes a great thriller. It stays with you. Makes you think about the nature of truth, the choices we make when we're faced with these impossible situations. Elston doesn't just give us a gripping plot.
Right.
She creates these characters that feel so real, so complex. Take Ryan, for example.
Oh, yeah, Ryan.
He starts out as this charming, successful guy.
But there's that ruthlessness underneath.
Exactly. And Luca is equally fascinating.
Oh, yeah?
She's this chameleon, but underneath all those masks, she's searching for connection. Maybe even redemption.
Maybe. And then there's Amy.
Amy.
This total wild card.
It's like watching two master manipulators trying to figure out if they can actually trust each other.
Totally. And we can't forget the puppet master himself.
George.
Aka Mr. Smith.
It's like Elston is saying, hey, don't trust appearances.
Seriously.
Because in this book, everyone's got secrets and they're willing to do whatever it takes to protect them.
And the way Elston builds that suspense.
It's pacing.
It's perfect. She draws you in and then bam. Hits you with these twists that just leave you reeling.
It's like a puzzle box. Each piece reveals a bigger picture, And just when you think you've solved it, she throws in another curveball.
It's the kind of book that stays with you, makes you question the world around you, the people you trust, even your own perceptions.
And it's so relevant to, what's going on today in our culture. Truth feels more and more elusive all the time.
It does.
Elston taps into that anxiety and shows how easily misinformation can be used against us, how trust can just erode.
It's a cautionary tale about a world where deception has become the norm. It makes you think, how do we even tell what's real anymore?
That's the question, isn't it?
It's like the ultimate test for their relationship, right? Can they build something real out of this web of lies?
Yeah, I was totally hooked. I mean, can they actually pull it off?
And Elston doesn't make it easy. She doesn't give us this simple answer.
Right.
I mean, yeah, Mr. Smith is finally taken down, but
the fallout from all that deception, it doesn't just go away.
Exactly.
So can they really outrun their past? It makes you think.
It does. It's what makes that ending so powerful. You see Luca trying to come to terms with everything.
Yeah, that scene at her mother's grave.
So heartbreaking.
She wants this simpler life, one free from all the lies and secrets, but she's also realizing that
she can't just erase it all.
It's a part of her.
Exactly. And it raises the question, can someone like Luca ever really find redemption? I mean, Elston doesn't shy away from showing the darker sides of her characters, their moral complexities.
It makes you think about how far you'd go to survive.
What would you do? And what happens afterward? You have to live with the consequences.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, what would a life without all the lies even look like for her?
Right.
Has she really learned from all this? Or will she always be drawn back to that world?
To that world of deception.
Right.
It's one of those questions that stays with you. I mean, Elston doesn't give us all the answers, but there is a glimmer of hope. I mean, they're together, Luca and Ryan.
Right.
They expose Mr. Smith. They're trying to bring down that whole operation.
They're on the right side now.
Yeah.
Maybe, just maybe, they can build something real based on, honesty this time. But it's not going to be easy. There's a lot of baggage there.
A lot of baggage to unpack. They'll always carry those scars.
Yeah.
But at least they're facing the future together.
That's a really powerful message. It's about resilience, about second chances.
About redemption.
Even after making some pretty big mistakes.
So what does all this mean for you, dear listener?
Yeah. First Lie Wins is a total page-turner, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it also makes us think about our own lives.
It does. How much do we value truth, especially in a world where it feels like everyone's hiding something?
Right. And how do we learn to trust when we're surrounded by so much deception?
It's a story that really gets under your skin. Elston makes us look at those uncomfortable parts of ourselves.
Yeah. Like, are we capable of that kind of deception too? What would we do if we thought there were no other options?
Exactly.
And maybe that's the biggest takeaway from First Lie Wins. Even when things feel really dark,
right,
there's always the possibility of change, of finding a way forward.
Of finding the light.
It's a story that reminds us that we all have the power to choose a different path. So, until next time.
Keep those pages turning.
And remember, sometimes the most important truths are hidden in plain sight.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Bookercast. We hope you enjoyed diving into it as much as we did. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Your support means the world, and we can't wait to hear your thoughts on this episode.
Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and share this episode with your fellow book lovers. And let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. See you in the next deep dive. Bye for now, and happy reading.